Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Amy Miller from Ohio Means Jobs, talking about getting that good resume together to be able to get that dream job you want. Do we include a photo anymore?
No.
Do we tell any personal information?
Oh, please no.
Okay, because, you still see that. Been married so many years, have this many children.
Yeah.
Health, excellent.
Oh.
All that seems to be space takers.
Yeah, it is, and it's unnecessary. And in some cases, it's not information that an employer should ever have. So, when you're looking at a resume, it needs to be professional, all professional. One thing is volunteer experience. A lot of people think that they shouldn't put volunteer experience. But when you go through periods of unemployment, maybe that's what you do with your time. That's great. Those are the kind of things that employers want to see, not anything about personal information that may discount you from consideration. That's what personal information really is. So stay away from that.
What about gaps? And you say, if you've had some periods of unemployment, do you say during this period, while I was job seeking, I volunteered this place and the other, and just fill up the gaps with truly what you were doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is why there's different formats now of resumes. The chronological, which is what you talked about initially, is traditional, and that's a lot of employers like to see that. But because of people changing fields, changing careers, only having one job in their life, whatever it might be, there are different types. The functional resume is a more skill-based resume. You can have a combination resume that pulls the best out of both of those things. And having volunteer experience does show that you're continuing to stay motivated, that you're continuing to be out in the community, and that even though you're not working, you're doing something to give back. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. So focus on your skills.
Focus on your skills.
How is that different than the cover letter then?
The cover letter is an opportunity to give how you fit into the job, and it's a more, because you're writing a more paragraph style, you're writing an actual letter, you're able to communicate how those skills that you identify in the resume go with the job that you're applying for. Again, a generic cover letter is a bad thing. You do not want to have a generic cover letter.
Is it cheating to take a look at the ad for the employment and to take the exact same words that they use and use those words in your cover letter, in your resume?
Oh my gosh, that is so not cheating. And actually, a lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of companies have gone to what is called an electronic candidate tracking system. So what they're doing is the first thing that resume goes through is a scanner, and they look to see if the skills that you have, those keywords, match up with the job description. If they do, you're more likely to go on to the next stage and actually talk to somebody. So think about that. You may have the best written resume in the world, but if it doesn't match up with what the employer wants, forget it. You're not going to get considered. So yeah, absolutely. Cheat. That's not cheating. Totally not cheating.
Because it's not cheating.
Because it's not cheating.
Well, that kills two birds with one stone, doesn't it? It gets you flagged as a great potential candidate.
Yeah.
And it, as you were talking about, trying to make that employer be specific to them and what they're looking for and make them feel special. Like, I want to work for you.
Right.
That's another way to do it, because your material that you're sending them looks almost a lot like what they are asking for.
Exactly right. Those are the kind of resumes and the kind of cover letters that scream to the employer, I'm the person for you. I have taken the time, done the heavy lifting, looked into how I fit with you. Oh, yeah. An employer wants to go, oh, yeah, get them in here right now.
Yeah. No more calls. We've got
no
a
more
winner.
calls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then you get the interview.
Yes.
And then it's kind of yours to blow, right?
Yeah.
So then what do? How do you not blow it?
The thing about an interview is if an employer has taken the time to have you sitting in front of them, they want to talk to you. They want to find you. So one of the classic mistakes and the most classic first question is, tell me about yourself. Mm-hmm. And Susie, this is where we go back to what you said about putting personal information on the resume. Well, here's where a lot of people blow it in the interview is they start out with saying, well, I'm married. I've been working for the last 30 years. I've got 2 kids. I'm very actively involved in my church. In my spare time, I like to knit. On and on and on.
Nothing job related.
Nothing job related. And I've sat in many, many interviews where I've just gone, ugh, please don't do that. Please don't do that. But it is the most common mistake. Another common mistake that people make is they badmouth their past employer or badmouth someone that they worked with. And finger pointing and blaming are going to look bad on no one but you. So don't do that. Did you have a bad experience? Maybe. But what did you learn from it? Don't say, well, this person was a horrible person and they made everyone miserable. I had a challenging employer. What I learned from them is XYZ.
Good. Yeah.
Turn it around to where you can actually show that you've learned from an experience, not taking an opportunity to badmouth a past employer.
And you come across as a problem solver and somebody who's trying to look for a solution and a way to work together rather than somebody who could be a problem, a high-maintenance employee coming on board.
Yeah, they don't want that. They want someone who is going to be supportive of the company, is going to be motivated, very self-directed, and that is going to be the right person. And if right off the bat, the impression that you're giving is that you're being negative, they don't want to have that.
Right. Who needs more negativity?
Yeah, we don't.
What is a great way to prepare for that interview? Should you do some mock interviews? Think up questions. What are some questions you should be prepared to answer other than tell me about yourself?
Yeah. Okay, now this is where OhioMeansJobs.com is really cool because they actually have an interview portal. So what that means is that you can go in and do practice mock interviews. They have lots of videos of people who are asking questions, and you're able to record yourself as you're answering the questions and then go back and look at them. People don't realize their gestures and the things that they do when they're talking. So when you're actually looking at yourself, answering questions, and listening to yourself, wow, that's such an eye-opener. The other thing is that we have an interview workshop at OhioMeansJobs.com. Ohio Means Jobs. See, there's too many Ohio Means Jobs. But at our office, we have an interview workshop. So you're actually able to come in, learn about the most common questions, learn about how you should be answering questions, and how you should appear when you're doing your interview. So there's not anything to distract the employer. If you're wearing something that's crazy and garish, they're not going to pay attention to you. So that interview workshop is a great opportunity to learn about the latest interview questions and what employers now are looking for when they're asking questions.
Wardrobe. What should you wear?
You should wear one step up from what the company wears. And my classic example is don't wear a suit if you're going in for a construction job because they're going to laugh at you. Okay. That's not appropriate for that job. If you're going for a professional level job, yes, wear a suit. If you're going to go in, maybe an entry level food service position or hospitality, wear a nice shirt and a nice pair of pants or a skirt. You don't have to get in a suit for every single job interview. So look at what the attire is that company wears and then go one step up.
Is there anything to the dress for the job you want, not the job you have, or is that once you're on the job, you start looking like the person you want to be?
Yeah, that's really when you're on the job. Because again, when you're interviewing for the job, the employer wants to know you want that job. If you're dressing too high, then you're really not looking for that job.
You're looking for a stepping stone or a foot in the door.
Exactly.
Okay. There's also something intangible. When a person comes in to interview for a job, often you do bring in the other people from the team and kind of see how they fit in. And that's very tough to put your finger on how to fit in with the team that you're being introduced to. Any advice there?
Be open. When you're being asked questions by different people, be sure that you are making eye contact with people. I think one of the things that is very difficult for a lot of people is eye contact. They either do too much or too little. So make sure that you're making eye contact with the person that you're speaking with. But also, as you're answering their question, make eye contact with one or two other people that are in the room. Don't just focus on one person at a time. Be able to spread out, how you're looking and how you're answering. They want to make sure that you're paying attention to everyone. So give your primary focus to who's asking the question, but then look around, make sure contact with other people, make sure that everyone is getting the chance to connect to you.
You got a job fair coming up. Tell us about it.
We do. In Tuscarawas County, we have a job fair coming up on May 11th. It is at the Tuscarawas County Monroe Center, where our office is located, and it is from 11 o'clock to 2. This is being sponsored by Congressman Gibbs, WJER Radio, Tuscarawas County Chamber of Commerce, Goodwill, and us. So it's a great opportunity to have the chance to talk to employers, to find out, so many people are hiring. I think we're looking at trying to get about 70 employers in, which is what we had the last time we had a job fair in Tuscarawas County. So again, right now it's a job seekers market. So you really want to take advantage of job fairs and opportunities to go out and meet a lot of different employers.
This is very good news to a lot of people. Amy Miller, Ohio Means Jobs, ohiomeansjobs.com. Thanks for everything you're doing in our community.
Great to be here. Thanks so much.